Finding a family doctor is hard in Canada. You look at these news articles, difficult to find a doctor, even when there's provincial programs set up like a hotline to help you find doctors. You hear comments like you call them and they tell you all their doctors are booked full. And I was a little bit nervous when I was trying to look for a family doctor. And even though I know the healthcare space very well, but I ended up finding one in a day and got a visit the next day, which is, I'm quite surprised myself that I was able to do it. Now, this varies depending on where you are in Canada, but I do want to show you a method that I have not seen in the news or in any articles that I think I'm surprised like no one talk about it. So basically, doctors in Canada are regulated by colleges, and you can find the family physicians go under the College of Physicians. So if you just Google that, and once you click into their website, you can look up physicians. So where's that search function? Advanced search. Now, their website is kind of stupid. So you do have a postal code option. So what do I look for in a doctor? I think a doctor that's accessible when you need it is more useful than a doctor that maybe have better education or looks nicer or speaks your language. Those things don't matter to me that much. I'd rather have a doctor that when I need to access the doctor, he or she is available on a short notice or, well, reasonable notice, and that they're punctual when I go to their office. You know, their staff actually pick up the phone and I can actually see the doctor without waiting 2 hours in their office. So, so first thing I'm just going to look for doctors that live close to me, or not that they work close to. I think, yeah, just being able to get to the doctor's office in 10 minutes is probably worth more to me than accessing a doctor half an hour away that potentially, you know, speak a different language or something like that. So the problem with this search is they don't actually search by distance from the postal code you put in. They just look for postal codes that match. So for example, let's say I'm a newcomer to Canada, or I'm looking for a new doctor, and I live with the postal code M2J. This is somewhere in North York and in a very urban area. If I put in the postal code there, let's just pick one. Let's say I live near Finch and Leslie, and let's just pick a random postal. So M2J4H6, M2J4H6, and I want a family doctor. That's all. I don't care about anything else. I'll do submit. There's not that many. There's one page here, so there's a bunch of doctors here. The key here though is first you'll see they all have M2. Well, okay. So these doctors have multiple practices. So in this case, this doctor probably have another location that's nearby. And the key here is, let's go back. The key is the bigger the number, the newer the doctor. So doctor's number is sequentially added up. So someone with 6 digits in the 1-2 range is very new. So this doctor probably graduated in the last 2 years. And yeah, this was 2022. And the thing is, the newer the doctor, the more likely that they're taking on new patients. So probably no point even looking at those that only have 5 digits in their code. So you can just scan through and pick out the ones that have a very high number. I don't mind a new graduate. It's probably even better. You know, joining a doctor who is very established, by the time I'm old and more likely to have disease, the doctor probably retired, and I have to look for a new family doc. So probably in my case, younger the better. I don't really care if they're new graduates. They all have the same level of training. I don't have very complicated disease. If it's really complicated, they're going to be specialists anyways. So yeah, so there's a couple options already, and you can look up their address and call them, see if they're taking on new patients. And that's how I found my doc. I just called 2 offices really. The first office I called, the phone line just says, it never even picked up. It just says this office is not available right now. Please call back at a different time. I tried half an hour later, same thing. So I immediately wrote that office off, because if I can't reach them, how am I going to get access to them later on? And the second office I called, a very nice lady picked up, said they're looking for, they will take new patients and will arrange a meet and greet with the doc. And I said yes. So one more thing I want to point out is, because the search function is not very reliable on here, one problem you might run into is if you search by, we did M2J, it might only search this postal code area in the red, which is a little bit misleading, because if you live in the corner of a postal code, you might not get search results in the other area. So might be worthwhile to search this area first and then go through the list that comes up, and then just pick a neighboring address. So for example, if I go to somewhere a little bit just outside that postal code, which would be M2H, and then try to search with that. So basically try to cover the 4 postal code areas immediately sort of to the north, south, east, and west of your location. And that will basically give you the results that's probably likely within a 10-minute drive of your house. And you're probably, depending on where you are, there'll be, could be 7 pages, could be 1 page of results. And call a few. Call the ones that just graduated with the bigger number, with the, in this case, 6 digits. Haven't seen a 13 something yet, so I think they've only issued up to 120 something K number. So, but probably next year we'll start to see 13 blah 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 blah. Anyway, so yeah, that's been it. Hopefully you can find your doc this way. If it works for you, like this video. If it doesn't work, put in the comments, let us know, where you are, why is it difficult to find a doc, and hopefully the search here becomes better for each college as well, that there's actually a map and you can see within a certain distance who is a match, and maybe even allow you to filter by who's graduated in the last 3 years, for example. Okay, that's been it. Bye.